everybody and welcome. My name is Jeanette Clegg. I'm better known on Instagram and Facebook as Crafty Cleggs Creations, and obviously also here on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the something of August. That's all I can tell you right now. It's a bit of an overcast day, a little bit cooler than we've had of recent, which I'm really pleased about because I am not a hot weather girl. Don't enjoy it at all. Find it very difficult to do anything in the hot weather, whether it be housework, walking, cooking, crafting, anything. So yeah, I'm quite happy for the cooler weather at the moment. If you're an old subscriber or a current subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. And if you are a new subscriber, which I have had a vast amount of them over the past week or so, thank you very much for subscribing and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy what you see and you continue following my journey. I live in the northwest of England with my husband Timothy and our little dog Zach. We have a little dog, a Shih Tzu. He's he's almost 14 years old now. Quite an old dog, ploddering on though. What else can I tell you? Have I got everything, all the intros out of the way? Oh, I have a little Etsy shop. I am known on there as Crafty Cleggs Creations, and I will put, of course, all the links in the description box below to where you can find me. Hello, how is everybody doing? I'm always really nervous at the start of a podcast. I don't know why, because there's only me and myself and I in this room, but I always feel really nervous about the start of a podcast. So when I've done the intros and I've got it all out of the way, I feel a lot better. I've got quite a lot to show you today, so it could be a bit of a long one. So if I bore you at any point, just skip forward and yeah. So we'll get going. I'll tell you what we've got, what I've got lined up for you today. I've got something new for you today. So I've got the normal works in progress, finished objects, things that I'd like to make, but I've also got a new section called Frog It, but I'll explain to you about that in a little while. I've got a little shop update. Have I said that? But I've got a little shop update. And really a bit of rambling, some prizes to give away, and you know, just the general what you get when you watch my podcast. Let me take a sip first. This is I don't know if you've seen this mug before. This is a newish mug. This is just, it reminded me a little bit of what's the mug? Denver. It's not a Denver mug, but it did remind me a little bit of a Denver mug, so I quite liked it. It's a Sainsbury's mug, which I thought, can you see, it's quite nice. Got little bits of glitter in. So yeah, that's my mug for today. I also forgot to ask you, how is everybody doing with this current situation? Tim and I are doing okay. We'll get a little bit bored. I'm not going to lie, there's lots of things we'd like to do. We're doing a little bit more than we have normally been doing, i.e. getting out. We're not venturing very far, don't get me wrong. We still have to go to the supermarket. So we both go to the supermarket together now. We always wear a mask. We have a hand sanitizer in the car. I have one in my bag. Tim has one on a carabiner thing for a man hook on his trousers. And we are really cautious and very careful, and we only ever go to the places that we know that's safe. I have visited Black Sheep once or twice. That's our local yarn shop for anybody that's not local to me. And I have had a couple of trips out in the car. We've had a picnic. Tim does have a drone, so we go droning quite a lot. He loves taking pictures of the landscape and things like that. I mean, we are very restricted to where we can go because obviously droning, to be fair, is a little bit frowned upon because of obviously irresponsible people who own drones, which I'm glad to say Tim isn't one of those. He's all fully I don't know what you'd call it, is licensed, is taken, you have to take a test. So you take a test and then they give you a license and they give you a number you have to put on your drone, and Tim's done all, you know, as it should be. It's all up above board, and he does only drone in places that he's allowed to. But obviously when he's doing that, I tend to go with him just to get a ride really, and I just sit in the car and usually do a bit of crafting. So we've been doing that a couple of times. So yeah, we have been getting out and about and doing things, but nothing majorly exciting. But there is something exciting happening for us at the end of this week, but I'll tell you about that in a little while. So I'm going to get going and show you what I've been up to and what I've been doing, because like I said, there is quite a lot to get to. So I will start with work in progress. I have got at the moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of them's a very quick one, and it's sewing. So I'll show you that one first. I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I think it was last week, might have been the week before now, I don't know, the weeks just sort of blur into one, don't they? My daughter's a dentist and is struggling at the moment for PPE, and she's been having to wear foot covers over her head in the surgery because of the shortage of PPE. So she just got in touch with me a couple of weeks ago and just said, look mum, is there any way you can make me a surgical cap? Because she had horrendous marks on her forehead, and as a mum you wait to see that, and I thought, right, I'm getting on this right away. Anyway, I did make her a few, made her 3 or 4 I think, and she said they were fantastic, she loved them, so could she possibly have some more? So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of days, is cutting out and sewing surgical caps rather. These are only half finished. I've still got to get these. I've got to get these finished and posted off for tomorrow. But I'll just show you what they're a very simple pattern that I got. It's a free pattern that I got off YouTube, and alongside a tutorial. Let me just get rid of that. Sorry, somebody sent me a message. Alongside a tutorial. So if I can remember, well, no, I will remember. I will put the link down below if anybody's interested and needs, you know, to make any for anybody. So it's a dead simple pattern. Like I say, this is only half finished. So that goes on the head like that, and then there's the ties at the back. So I've made her a stars. I'll just quickly go through them because I've made more than one of every one. This is Woody and Buzz Lightyear, Toy Story. Dr. Seuss. Made her a couple of those. I got these from the local fabric shop, Angela's. This is the rabbit one. I quite like that. And I thought this was quite apt with her being a dentist, and you should eat lots of fruit. So I made a couple of strawberry ones. And last but not least, it's quite nice, this one, quite a bright fabric. So I made her 3 of these. I've made her 3 of those. And these are the ties at the end. Really, really quite easy to make, not difficult at all. A little bit time consuming because obviously you have to cut them out. I find the thing that takes a long time is pinning them, because it's 2 pieces. It's the crown and then the bit that goes all the way around the head, and of course you have to pin the crown to, well, you don't have to, but I find it a lot easier because with it being sewn on a curve, I think it's always best to pin them. So that's what takes the time, pinning them. The sewing them isn't too bad, but then you have to, I haven't got an overlocker, so I have to zigzag all the way around the inside of the head, obviously to stop the fabric fraying, because they need to be washed on a regular basis. So yeah, that is one of the first things that I've been up to. So I think she'll be quite pleased when she gets them, because, you know, so much more comfier for her to work in. I would imagine, I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen her since all the pandemic's gone on, but I would imagine all the PPE they have to wear, it can be pretty, and especially in the heat, pretty horrible. I wouldn't like to have to do it. So that's my first thing. So the second thing that I'm in the middle of making is my Christmas socks. For those of you that have been watching in other episodes will know that I'm making quite a few pairs of socks for Christmas this year. I've been requested by family members if they can have handmade socks in their stocking, so I've said yes. I've already made one pair, and this is my second pair that I'm making. Just bear with me. So I thought, seeing as I'm making Christmas socks, I'll put them in a Christmas bag. So they're in my bag from the lovely Rachel from So Me. Rachel gifted this to, she gifted this to me last Christmas. I think it was last Christmas. Yeah, it was. It's one of her lovely little project bags. The stitch marker is actually from Ellie from Craft House Magic, and as is the yarn, and as is the pattern. I haven't actually got a picture of it. It's just a plain vanilla sock. I'm not a massive sock knitter. I am getting better, to be fair. The more that I make, the easier I'm finding it. But there isn't a pattern to this. It is a free download, and it's on Ravelry, and it's Ellie from Craft House Magic, and it's just the simple toe down sock. And I like to do 2 at a time, but I can't do sounds silly, doesn't it? But I can't do 2 at a time in the round on the magic loop. So I always do. I do them in the round, but my knitting needles are the little 23cm circs. So I always do. I get to one stage and then cast on the other, get to that stage, and so forth and so on. So this is how far I've got. So I've done the cuff and the leg, is it leg down? Anyway, it's this way, isn't it? So I've done the cuff and the leg on that one, and the cuff and the leg on that one. So I'm ready to start turning the heel now, doing the heel and turning it. So that's how far I've got on that. But this yarn, this is Ellie from Craft House Magic. This yarn is absolutely beautiful. It's so soft and squidgy. Let me tell you what, I have got the ball band somewhere, she says. Just bear with me. Here we go. So it's Ellie's ball band, and it's called Jingle Bell Rocks. It's 75% superwash merino and a 25% nylon, and it's absolutely lovely. It really, really, really is. Such a lovely yarn to work with. So much so, I was doing these and Tim actually said, oh, those look really nice, I like them. And I said to him, when I've finished, if we've got time, because it's not something that comes easy to me sock knitting, I said, if I've got time before Christmas, I'll make me and you a pair of these in this for over Christmas. So I'm hoping I've got time. But, you know, to be fair, once I got going on this seems to take me quite a while. But once I've got that out of the way, the ribbing, this, I seem to be able to, you know, get on with it quite quickly now. So yeah, that's how far I've got with them. I'm using the Adder nickel free, and they're 20 centimetres, not 23 centimetres. It's 20 centimetres on a 2.5, and I'm really enjoying them. And I've actually I've written every single row that I've done down, and I think that is the trick for me. I don't know if everybody does that. I know a lot of people sometimes put little stitch markers in every 10 rows they do and things like that, but I just find it much easier to I just write everything down and mark it off as I'm going. I'm sure we all have our own little ways of doing it, but I really did think that had helped keep me on track. So that's my second pair of Christmas socks, and those ones are for Katie. And after I finish them, then I've just got a little tiny pair to do for Maddox, which is Katie's stepson. I think he's 10 now, Maddox. So I'll have to look for a child's pattern. Never done child's socks before. Can't imagine it being much different than an adult socks, only on a smaller basis. So yes, so that is my second work in progress. My third one is in my, where am I? I made this. This is my, I can't remember what this fabric is called. It is a Riley Blake fabric, I know that much. With my little kitten in his basket of yarn pin. And this is just a plain, I think it's just a calico. And I lined it with pink gingham and put some pockets on the inside. And this that I'm making is a pattern by a company called 1 and 2, or it's called 1 and 2 Company, and it's Joe the Puppy. I've made this before for my granddaughters, and I don't know, I've just had this real big urge recently to just crochet more. I seem to be enjoying my crocheting a lot more than anything at the moment. Crocheting and sewing, I wouldn't say I've gone off knitting, but I think you just sort of lose your mojo, don't you? And I've lost my mojo for knitting, I'm not going to lie. It's not something I'm enjoying at the moment. So I decided, rather than beat myself up, I'd just do what I enjoy. So I decided I was going to make one of these. So I've decided to make, can you see that? I don't know if you can. Yeah. Joe the Puppy. So I haven't got very far. Let me show you what I'm using. It's a commercial yarn. It's King Cole and it's yummy. It's so soft. It's a chenille. Oh, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's so soft to the touch. I love it. So that's it. That's going to be its accent, i.e. the end of its nose and its paws. And then I'm making the actual dog in the grey. So that's the grey and white. Can't see that very well, it's the lights not doing it any good. So anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm making. So this is, I've not got very far, but this is how far I've got. That's his head. You can't really see that way on it, looks quite strange, doesn't it? So I'll turn it sideways. That's his head. Now I'll tell you, I haven't done, on the last one that I made, I put safety eyes in. But what I'm thinking of doing, because a few people have mentioned it to me before, and I do love making my amigurumi, and even though I say it myself, I know that this is my forte, this is what I do best. So I am thinking, because it's getting to that time of year, that I might actually make some amigurumi and put it in my Etsy shop for sale, just as a tester to see how it goes. So I thought I might make this and put it in my Etsy shop. Anyway, wait and see. It won't take me long to make. It probably 3 nights. Over 3 nights I'll be able to make this. So yeah, so that's what did I say we're called? Joe. That's Joe's head. I don't think I'm going to call mine Joe. I don't know. I always wait to see how they look when I finished making a toy before, if I'm going to name them, before I name them, because I always think when they've been put together and you bring them to life, you'll be able to tell better than what a name would suit them. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? I know what I mean. If you don't, just ignore me. Anyway, so yeah, that's my other work in progress. And then finally, I'll have to bend down. Sorry, it's dropped on the floor. Bear with me. I have decided that I am going to just have a project for car knitting, i.e. when we go droning, if we go out for a drive, because of the current situation. That seems to be what Tim and I seem to do quite a lot of at the moment. We either have a ride out over we have a favourite fish and chip shop that we love over in Home Firth, and every 2 or 3 weeks maybe we go over there and have a little bit of a bite to eat, and you can sit outside, especially if the weather's nice. If not, we have dinner out and we have a picnic in the car. Like I say, he goes droning. Sometimes we just go out for a drive, and I do like to have some car knitting. And the last time I went, I took my socks with me and forgot to take my pattern. So for the entire time that Tim was out droning, I had nothing to do, and it just was so frustrating, because it was time that to me was wasted that I could have probably turned a full heel. So I've decided that I'm only going to have one thing. I'm going to put it in the car with everything that I need: scissors, yarn, needles, pattern, everything. And this is what I've decided to do. It's in my bag that my lovely friend Dawn, from Dawn's Days, we did a swap, Dawn and I, oh, a while back now. It seems like forever. In fact, if you're watching, Dawn, do you fancy another swap? Shall we do another swap? Anyway, yeah, so Dawn and I had a swap, so it's in my bag that Dawn made me. And what I decided to do, I'm sure everybody knows who I'm talking about when I mention this lady, Jules from So Sweet Violet. I watched one of her podcasts. Oh, you know, it might have been a month ago, 2 months ago. Like I say, I'm completely losing track of all the time at the moment with things being as they are. And she'd made a little tiny blanket, and it was this one that I'm doing is the Cozy Memory Blanket, and it's one of the mitered blankets. And Jules had made one in really tiny little squares. I think she said she'd cast on 24 stitches, so they take no time at all to do. And I like what Jules said in the idea as, if you don't really fancy doing anything big, but you want something to do, by the time you've casted it on and you've done your square, you feel like you've achieved something because you finished something, but it was only tiny. And I loved the idea of that. And I loved the finished blanket. It was absolutely beautiful. It was really, really lovely. I mean, I'd probably make it and have it as a display for one of my dolls to sit on, or I don't know what I'd make it for, but I just decided that I was going to have a go at doing it, and this was going to be my car knitting. So it's the little mitered blanket. I haven't got far. I've only done 2 squares, so there's not much to show you. Can you see them? And so this is going to be my car knitting, and I think I'm going to do, I think Jules did, I don't know if she did 7 across or 8 by 5, but I'm just going to do 7 across by 5 down and see how I get on, and if I think it's big enough, then I'll just finish it off with like Jules did. She did a really pretty crocheted scalloped edge, and she lined it with some really pretty material, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to copy off what Jules did, but I don't think she minds, because obviously she put it up, so she gave us the idea, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do for my car knitting. Like I said, I've not got far, and I've got, let me just show you, I've got quite a few odd balls of things that was left over that are perfect for it, you know, just like, let me, you won't be able to see that, let me just, like little tiny, I don't know what they're called, I don't know where they come from. I did do a little mini swap, back in February with a lot of people for my, what was it for? What's the hat called? Do you know? I don't know. Can't remember. No, can't remember. Anyway, for that. And I have got quite a few little minis left. That's out of one of the socks that I made last year. I've actually pulled these socks back. This yarn, I know what this yarn is. This is a Lay Family yarn, and it was from last Christmas. And I pulled these socks back because when I went to put them on, one was 3 inches, about 1.5 inches longer than the other, and it was really frustrating me, so I had to pull them back. Anyway, so that's, you get the gist. I'm just using up odd scraps, and I'm just going to get lots of little scraps, put them all in here. I've only wound a few up for now. Put them all in here, put it in the car, and that is going to be my car knitting. And that bag's from my dear friend Dawn. So that's all my knitting and crocheting. I've got a little bit of sewing to show you now. Bear with me 1 second while I have a drink. Right, next. I've been, I joined in a sew along with the lovely Molly and Mama, and it was the night before Christmas stocking. I'm sure you remember that. I have shown it to you before. I've not got very far on it, to be fair, but I have had quite a busy few weeks doing lots of other things rather than just crafting. So I haven't got very far on it, but what I have done, I will show you. So I think I did show you all the fabric. And I have made a start on putting all the hexagons together, and this is how far I've got. Is that the right way up? Yeah. So this is the front of the, oh excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. This is the front of the Christmas stocking. I'm hopefully going to try and get some more of this done next week. And I think the reason I'm not putting it off, but the reason I think, oh, I'll do that next time, I'll do that next time, I'll do this instead, is because it's a Christmas project. You think you've got forever, don't you? And you haven't, because time really, really passes by so quickly. This is actually going to be for me. Really, I've really enjoyed doing all these English paper piecings at the moment. It's been so much fun. I've also been very naughty and bought another pattern from the lovely Emma from the Vintage Sewing Box. She's just bought out, well, not just, I think it was last week, a new sewing pattern for a sewing case. Oh, and it's absolutely stunning, so I had to treat myself to that. But I'll save that for another day. So yeah, that's how far I've got on the front of my stocking. I haven't even chosen the fabric for the back or the lining yet, but what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd get it all together and take the finished stocking down to the local fabric shop and get Angela, who owns the shop, to maybe choose some fabric with me. But yeah, that's how far I've got with my stocking. Really enjoyed doing that, like I say. And the other thing that I'm in the middle of making, again, is sewing, is my, let me get all the pieces, sorry to get out of shot. I'll push stuff over. If you could just see all the front of this here, it's just covered in everything. But you know, isn't that what podcasting's about? Oh, now they're all on the floor. What am I like? Bear with me. I've dropped all my limbs. Right, so the next thing I'm making is a Tilda Angel Mouse. This is a free pattern. There she is. This is a free pattern off the Tilda website. If you go on the Tilda website, she's there with a few other free patterns as well, free to download. So I've decided I'm going to make her. And again, depending on how she turns out, I might actually put her in my shop as well. I'm quite pleased with her, actually. To say I've never made, I mean, I've made dolls before, so it's not that I'm new to it, but these limbs are a lot smaller than I'm used to. Anyway, let me show you. She's not together yet, but you'll sort of get the gist. So this is her head. It's done in Tilda fabric. I've had this fabric for some time now. I bought this from Angela when I used to work in the bobbin patch in Shaw. Don't know if she's got any more left. It was in the sale. So I got some more. So this is the head and this is the body. Let me just see if I can pop the head and the body on. So you sort of get, you sort of get the gist, don't you? That's going to be the body and the head. And then we've got two arms. Oops, excuse me, I shouldn't do it like that, should I? Two arms. Same fabric, they're all in the same fabric, and two legs, and these are stuffed within an inch of the life. I mean, these are that stuffed, you could have these as drumsticks, they're that hard, but that's what they advise you to do, and that's what I did. You have to, when you're sewing the Tilda doll, it does tell you to put your stitch length on your machine down to, I think it's 1.5, so you've got a very small stitch, because like I think it helps with the stuffing, so it keeps the stitches nice and tight. So that's the arms and legs, and then you've got a couple of ears which I haven't done anything with yet, but you can sort of get the gist that them are going to be the ears. But there's an inset, bear with me and I'll find the fabric. So them are the ears, and then this fabric that I've got here, I think I got this out of a kit that I bought from Angela that was left over. I can't remember what I made. I think it's from Angela. Don't know if you can see that, and it's got little tiny stars on it, and you cut that out and you put that on the inside of the ear, and then this is going to be the skirt as well, if you can just see, if you understand what I mean. So that's, we're going to make the skirt out of this fabric, and then the insert of her ears out of this fabric. So yeah, it should be nice. The only trouble is, the only one trouble, and then it's my fault because I didn't read the pattern right. If you have a look at the little tail there, it does tell you to save enough fabric for the little tail, and I haven't got any fabric left of that. So I might, if I've got enough fabric of this, she might just have to have an odd tail. I'll have to have a look. I might have some fabric somewhere that I might be able to use for a tail, but if not, I'm sure anything will do. When I say anything I'll do, I don't mean that, but you know, I know it sounds ridiculous, like, oh, it doesn't match, but you know, you don't see a Tilda coloured mouse, do you? It's a doll. So that's what I always think. I think, well, it's a doll, it doesn't matter, does it? Right, so the next thing is my finished objects, which I have only got 2. But boy, are they gorgeous. Even though I say it myself, these 2 finished objects I love. Bear with me. So the first one is sewing. It is, oops. Oh, I'm not having much luck, am I? I've dropped it all the way over there now. Bear with me and I'll be back. Honest to goodness me, it's one of those days. So the first thing I've made, like I say, is a sewing thing. It's a kit that I got from Cool Crafting, and it's Daisy the sheep. So you got the kit for Daisy, and then you had to buy another kit with Daisy's outfit on. So this is Daisy the sheep. Let me show you. I absolutely love her. Absolutely love her. So that is Daisy the sheep. So she can undress her. She's all fully made underneath. She's made out of wool felt. Very, very enjoyable to make. Nice to make. I wouldn't say easy. I have made Luna's in the past, and I think Luna's a little bit easier. Things like this, you know, all the different bits of, what do you call these? I don't know what you'd call these. That's round a sheep. Anyway, the bits of arms and legs are different from Luna. The face construction is different from Luna. There's 3 parts to the face. I don't know if you can see. I don't want to give too much away because obviously it's a paid pattern. I love the tuff her hair. Look at that there. And it's the same. Let me just lift the skirt up. Pardon me, Daisy. And it's the same round her feet. And I love, absolutely love her little gingham dress. So it's got a really nice cotton, what do you call this? Like a broadlay onglay effect, is that right? Anyway, she's got that really nice cotton round the edge of her dress, and this is just a red and white gingham. She's got like a little love heart. I don't know if you can see that. There. Hold on, let me get it. Little love heart pocket, and then she's got a little body transfer, and then underneath her dress, she's got like little netting underneath the dress. Isn't that just adorable? I love it. Now, I have made quite a few. But when I say quite a few, I've made a Christmas one, an Halloween one. My very, very first Luna that I made, she's a little bit odd. As in, her feet were wrong, her body didn't go together quite as it should be, so it's a bit wonky. But I love her because she was my first one, and I really enjoy making these. So I asked Tim if we could go and get some more shelves. So he's put me a shelf over there, and another one over in the corner, you can't see that, which is what my little pink, well, it wasn't when I showed you last time, but do you remember the little wooden shelf that Tim made me for all my dolls? Well, it's painted and it's over there. I forgot all about that to show you. So I will put a picture in round about here somewhere for you to see the shelf. It's all finished now. I don't want to get it down because it's got things on it, but I will put a picture in. So yeah, so Daisy sits over there on the shelf with all the others. And again, I'll put her on the shelf and then I'll take a picture and show you. But is she not just adorable? I love her. Daisy, she's called. I was going to change her name, but I thought, you know, she suits Daisy. So yeah, that's my first finished object, sewing. And my next one is knitting. Are you ready for this? Da, 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 da. Drum roll. My dear friend Lindsay has designed a pattern and asked me and many others, would I test knit her cowl? And it's finished. And I have spoken to Lindsay. I'm not just showing you this willy-nilly. I have spoken to Lindsay, and Lindsay said she's quite happy for me to pop it on my Instagram feed and share it with my YouTube friends. So I'm not doing anything out of turn that I shouldn't be. Just wanted to get that out there that, you know, I have okayed it with Lindsay. So let me just show you first of all. And again, the pattern hasn't been released yet, and I don't want to give too much away because it is going to be a paid for pattern. But it's called Dance Like No One Is What? No, it's not. Dance Like No One's Watching. And it's a cowl by Lindsay at Stitch Create Love. How adorable is that? Now Lindsay used a set of minis held double with, I don't know if it was floof or mohair, but I know that that's, the pattern can be, it's quite a versatile pattern. You can use different kinds of yarns. Now I did have a lovely set of minis that I wanted to use, and unfortunately because there's such a shortage of floof, well, believe it or not, you can actually get it now, but when I started this cowl I couldn't get hold of a skein of floof for love nor money, and I cannot wear mohair. So I thought I'm just going to do it in a commercial yarn, and then when I can get hold of some floof I'm going to do it again. But I've done this one as a gift for somebody for Christmas, and I'm so pleased with it. I used Stylecraft alpaca tweed double knit, and it took one skein of yarn. Sorry about that, somebody sent me a message again. And I used 4.5mm circular needles, and this is it. Absolutely love it. How adorable is that? And Lindsay, I spoke to Lindsay, I think it was yesterday or this morning, and she said it reminds me of choc mint chip ice cream, and it really does now she said that. It does need blocking. I'm not going to put it on because I'm having a hottie. It does need blocking. I think it would benefit from being blocked. It would probably give a little bit more definition to the pattern. But the pattern is so well written. It really is a nice pattern. Really enjoyable. This is my kind of knit. As in, it's not a big project. It's not overfacing. I can have it done in a week. I'm not very good at all with big projects. It's just not me. I get too fed up with them. I put them down and then I just never finish them. But I've got something to help us with that in a little while. Let me just finish talking about this. So, like I say, very much definitely my project. My kind of projects, and I will be making many more of these. I think Lindsay is aiming to release her pattern, I think she said sometime in September. Now don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure, but sometime in September does spring to mind. But I would highly recommend, I mean, like I say, I test knitted the pattern and I didn't feel that there was anything I could say to her that would put it right. It was easy to follow, very well written, very well put out. In my eyes, it's perfect, really. And I'm not just saying that because Lindsay is my friend. Lindsay does know me quite well now and knows that if there's a problem with it, I would tell her I don't have a problem with that. But I can honestly not find a fault in the pattern, and it's just brilliant. I love it. So yeah, highly recommend as a gift. Superb gift knitting because it's done in no time at all. So yeah, unfortunately, them are my only two finished items, my cowl and Daisy. But, you know, I'm quite happy with that. Now, the next thing that I'm going to tell you about is this new section that I'm putting in. And I'm not saying it's going to be in all the time. I'm hoping it's not, because I'm hoping I won't have this problem. But it's called Frog It. I am having a problem, like I say, with big things. I'm not a lover of knitting or crocheting massive things. And I just happened to be one day, and this isn't recent, this is quite, oops, sorry, I'm knocking you. This is quite some time ago. Maybe, again, could be 3, possibly 4 weeks, I don't know. I follow a lady on Instagram it's called LesPetitesSaintCrochet.com, and she'd brought out, I don't really know what you'd call it. It's a bit of a document to help you decide whether you want to carry on doing those current whips. We all know that I've got, in the corner over here, bags and bags of whips, and they was actually starting to get me down. And when I come across this, I thought it was fantastic. And again, I'm not going to give too much away, because it is a paid for document worth every single penny in my eye. You have to sit and read it and take in what she's telling you. But she basically, I can show you the top of it there. It's called Honey, Get Control of Your Whips. And boy, is she right. And she basically tells you how to get control of your whips. And like I said, I don't want to say too much because it's a paid for pattern, but it helps you decide whether you want to carry on with your whips. That's all I can tell you. All I'm going to tell you. Well worth it. Put the description box below a link, if I can find one, to that. If not, I will put the name of, oh, what's she called? Elise. I will put Elise's website and YouTube channel down there, and you can link it all and you'll be able to get to it. So there's three whips that I've taken from underneath there that I've decided they're not doing it for me. For whatever reason, they're not doing it for me, so I'm going to frog them. But I decided I would show you. Rather than me just frog them and they just disappear and you didn't know what had happened to them, I thought I'll explain to my lovely viewers why I've decided to frog them. And this is my pile of stuff. I'm quite, I wouldn't say embarrassed, because I'm not. I mean, this is probably nothing compared to a lot of other people. I'm embarrassed because of the amount of yarn that I've probably wasted. But, you know, I think to myself, if I do what advice it says in the Honey, Get Control of Your Whips, then I'm not going to waste anything. Anyway, so the first one, and I think you'll be quite shocked at this, is, my Helen Stewart shawl. And I think the reason that I have fell out of love with this, I'll be honest, is because I've seen it finished, and it's not something I think I would wear. And I'd got to almost finishing. Well, I did finish part 1, but I'd done a little bit of it wrong. Anyway, I've sort of got it and thought, do I want to carry on doing this? Will I enjoy it? Will I wear it? And I asked myself all those questions, and I decided, no, I wouldn't. I should never have started it, because I wasn't keen at the beginning on an idea of investing such a lot of time into an item that I didn't know what it looked like, which I would imagine a lot of people struggle with, or struggled with. Anyway, I've decided that before I go any further, I'm going to undo this, and then obviously try and put some of this yarn, because it's beautiful yarn. This is a Lay family yarn. It's a beautiful yarn, so I'm going to undo this and try and put this into maybe my little tiny mitre square blanket, or I'm going to do a few swaps at Christmas of 10 grams or 20 grams, so maybe I could wind this up, you know, just so it doesn't get thrown away. Anyway, that's my first one that's frog it, been frogged. My second one. Now, it's not that I don't want to do this, because I do want to do this, but I think this next one, it's one of those items where I need to set aside time to sit and do just this one project. The main reason I frogged this is because the amount of work that's going to go into it, I can't justify using an acrylic yarn, and I have done, and I think you probably all know what it is. It's the Whitmore sweater by Amy Loudon. And I think what I need to do is invest in some nicer yarn rather than just the Stylecraft. Invest in some nicer yarn and put aside a time where I won't feel guilty for sitting maybe 2 or 3 times every week and just working on one project. So I've decided that this is going to be, and I'm going to say it here so it's out there, my Christmas knit. So from now up until the 1st of December, on the 1st of December I'm going to try and clear everything else that I've got going, and I'm just going to work on my Whitmore sweater. So I need to purchase the yarn, and all December this is what I'm going to do. So this is another one that's been frogged. And last but not least, this is, I can't even remember what this is called. How bad is that? I've just put the pattern away. Oh dear. Anyway, this has gone on for long enough, hasn't it? Sorry everybody. Are you bored yet? I'm trying my hardest not to bore you. It's this. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have a look and then I'll put the name of it underneath on the screen. Now, let me explain to you this. This is not because I dislike this. I loved this. But my problem being here is this is the yarn left and this is the first repeat. So I'd have another repeat and then a little bit, I think. So it's about 2 1/4 repeats before it's finished, because you have to twist it and then join it. And it's just that thick. And I would have to purchase another ball each of this. Now, whilst I don't mind spending all my money on yarn, I do begrudge a little bit, because this was £20 odd this yarn, so this cowl would cost me £43, and I don't think so. So I think if I frog this, because I love this yarn, this is called, I think it's Millamine Aran, and it's a beautiful yarn, so I'm going to use it again. So I'm going to frog it, and I'm going to make myself a hat out of this. And I'm going to treat myself to some more yarn, but I'm going to do it in a DK weight. So if I get 4 100-gram balls of yarn, I would imagine it would be enough to do the whole thing. I can't even remember. It's really annoying that. Anyway, so this is going to be frogged, and I'm going to make a hat out of it. So this won't go to waste. The shawl wool won't go to waste. And the Whitmore sweater, I might make, I don't know, I've got 4 balls of this, so I might make a blanket, or I might just give it to my daughter-in-law, so it just doesn't get wasted, basically. So those are the 3 things that I've frogged. Gone. And I tell you what, it made me feel much better. Sorry I have to keep doing that. People keep sending me messages. Do they not realise that I'm podcasting? Right, I need to crack on. Let me just have a look, because I have made some notes. Right, let me just do quickly the giveaways. I'm going to do the giveaways next. Right, so if you remember, the last time I podcasted, I was almost at 600 subscribers. Well, I am now at 600. Last time I looked, which was yesterday. I've not looked today, but yesterday I was at 649 subscribers. I'm blown away by it. I cannot believe I've got to 649 subscribers. Thank you so much. So at 600 I was going to do a giveaway. So the giveaway was the ball of yarn, I don't know if you remember, that we, is that upside down? That Tim and I, in fact I don't know if Tim and I or I just did this one, I can't remember. It's a sock yarn. So this and a set of stitch markers that Timothy had made. And the winner of that, let me just tell you, is the fox in the purple coat. We did do all this random picking thing. Well, I didn't, Tim did. And that's who came up with this. So the 600 subscriber giveaway is a late, I don't know what you called, but you are the fox in the purple coat. So if you could get in touch with me, please, you can either get in touch with me on Instagram, or you could leave me a message under here, and we'll get in touch with one or another somehow. Or you can send me an email. I will leave my email address underneath, so you can send me an email. Anyway, so you're the winner of that. And then I also, because I asked my subscribers if they could name this, and Tim and I decided that this was going to be called Sunrise to Sunset. And I said I would give a prize away to that lady. And the Sunrise to Sunset, this is the prize that I'm going to give you. I've made some little notion pouches. So this is a little notion pouch for you. And the winner of that is Diane Crocker. So Diane, if you could get in touch with me, please, again, via Instagram. I will leave my email at the bottom, or a message on YouTube. Thank you very much, and congratulations, ladies. And also, you will know that we did a make-along from Dawn's Days. Dawn and I, we did a make-along. And Dawn last week did a random generator pick thing. And the winners of that was Stitched by Mrs. D, which is Paula. And she lives in this country, so I'm going to post out to her. And then the other winner was Vansan, and she lives in the Netherlands near Dawn. So Dawn's going to post out to her, obvious. Now, I have spoken to Paula, who won the prize, and she is not around for the next week. So I am going to post her parcel off on Friday. Now, I don't really want to show you what I've made for her, because she wanted it to be a surprise when she got back. I don't know if any of you watch Paula from Stitched by Mrs. D. If you haven't, you need to go over and watch her. She's absolutely fabulous. She makes the most amazing, well, everything Paula makes is amazing. So yeah, nip over and watch her. But Paula does like surprises, so I don't want to show you on here, just in case you might watch it. But when I have sent it off, I will put a picture on my Instagram feed, and you can see what I sent off to Paula. Anyway, that's that. The next thing is just a couple of incoming. I had, as you all know, I'm in a mini skein club from Yarn for the Soul over near where my daughter lives. And this is the Beatrix Potter theme, and this one this week is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. Do you want me? No, I'm not going to take it out because you can see it. So if you get one skein, she gives you an opportunity to get a second skein for half price. So it's a really, really good subscription. I'd highly recommend it to anybody who wants to collect minis in a theme. Would highly recommend it. Absolutely love it. So that's my 2 minis from this month. So that's my first treat. But that's not a treat because I get that every month. So I think, you know, we're entitled to treats, us women, aren't we? The next thing, I had a new kit from Cool Crafting, and it's the Briary Bears. I've been wanting to make these for a while. I did actually want to make them in red, but the red was out of stock. So again, I bought the kit, and let me just show you. Lots of rattling, sorry, bear with me while I get it out. So I'm making mine in the sunshine colour. So this is the linen to make the body, and then this plain yellow, stripe yellow, and then this one is to put the clothes and everything together. So yeah, that's watch this space. I'll be making that. I seem to be very much into doll making and crocheting at the moment, but you know, I've decided I'm just going to do what I love doing best, and it's mainly sewing and crocheting, so I should just do what I love. And knitting every now and then. So that's something else that I treated myself to. And then I've quite excuse me, quite fancied some really antique linen. And it's very, very hard to come by antique linen. Anyway, I found this lady who lives in France, and she's called, or the business is called, A Farmhouse in France. And she's got some fantastic things on her website. Really, really nice. I mean, I could have spent a fortune, but you have to be so careful. And I got this little bundle. I mean, and they are only very, very small pieces of pure linen, but it's antique linen. But is that not fantastic? So I'm going to do some hand stitching on this. I don't know what. I'm going to do some hand stitching, and that's the biggest piece. So I could probably get a small notions pouch out of that for myself. But yeah, I mean, it was quite expensive. That wasn't a cheap treat, but you know, I really wanted it. So, and I think to myself, well, I said to Tim last night, we must have saved a fortune this year. We haven't been on any holidays. I mean, normally by August, Tim and I have usually had a couple of holidays by now, and we haven't had a holiday this year. We haven't been out for meals. We haven't done a quarter of the things that we normally do. So I don't feel as bad really treating myself every now and then like I have been doing, because we've saved a fortune, and I'm sure most people have as well. And then the last thing that I treated myself to, well, I haven't treated myself to, this is for the shop, so this doesn't really count, but it's some new fabric for the shop. This is Fiesta. I love this. So these are for the shop. So we're going to make a couple of bags in that. And I managed to get, I love this fabric. It's Garden Cottage, Liberty Garden Cottage. And I managed to get hold of some more of that. So yeah, that's that. And the last thing I want to show you, yesterday was World Granny Square Day, and I just could not let the day go by without making a little granny square. It's not for anything, I just made it so I could pop it on my Instagram feed and let everybody see that I joined in, and I just made this tiny little granny square just while I was sat there last night. So that's my little granny square from yesterday, from World Granny Square Day. Just have a quick drink. And next is just a little shop update. Finally, I should say, a little shop update. I have been making quite a few bags just recently. Tim's been busy making stitch markers. We've got quite a few new stitch markers in there, and I've got some more to put in. Oh, excuse me, I'm having problems with an itchy nose. These bags that I'm going to show you are already in the shop. And I've got a couple of notion pouches that are already in there. I've got a couple that I've made that I've got to still put in, but I'll tell you which ones they are. And I have got a couple of really nice patchwork bags that I'm making at the moment, but they're not finished yet. They'll probably go in the shop probably sometime next week. But what I've got, I'll show you. So these are all the standard size project bags that I tend to make. Quite like this one. I thought, well, if we can't go on holiday, let's make a beach bag for our, it's got one of my little labels on. So there's this one in the shop. Very much into Matilda fabric at the moment. So we've got a Tilda one with a linen. This is a 100% linen at the bottom. And that one's just got a white on white or cream on cream lining. Then this is another Tilda. Love this fabric, and that's got like a blue flowery lining. This is a nice one too. Again, it's got a 100% linen bottom and a really pretty floral with a plain cream on cream lining. And then this one, I really like these bags. These bags are very, very deceiving. This is a bumblebee. This is the bee bag. It's got a very, very deep boxed bottom. Very clever how it's constructed. And that one will probably fit 4 100-gram, I can't get my words out, 4 100-gram balls of yarn in. It holds a lot more than you think. So that's that one. And then I've made a couple of notion pouches. In fact, one of them, that one's sold. I shouldn't be showing you that one, it's sold. So these are what I've got left. Again, linen, 100% linen at the bottom. And it's just like forest with decorative wooden spools at the end, and it's silk and polka dot, and really good size for all your notions, and fit your scissors in, your stitch markers, and it actually fits depending on how big your little notebook is. Actually can fit a little notebook in that one. And then there's another one here, and that's got the woodland mice on. Same thing, linen on the bottom, silk ribbon with the decorative spools, and this one's got green polka dot on the inside. Now these two aren't in yet. I haven't put these in my Etsy shop yet because I just haven't had time. I'm hoping to put these in today. But these are two Tilda ones. Again, Liberty on the bottom. These are square bottoms, not round. This is Tilda, and the lining is pink polka dot, and they've just got decorative wooden shiny beads. Those are nice. That's that one. Quite pretty, aren't they? Really nice to have it, and they'll fit in any size project bag, these. And then this is the second one, exactly the same, 100% linen, Tilda, polka dot, and silk ribbon and wooden beads. And that's it. Other than to tell you, on Friday, Tim and I are going to Frome. I am so excited. It's been about 6 months since I've seen my daughter. I've seen my son on a couple of occasions, but it's been about 6 months since I've seen my daughter, and I miss her so much. You'd think I'd get used to being this far away, wouldn't you? I mean, she's lived over in the south for many, many, many years, and I still can't get used to her not being here. Anyway, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, her and her partner have booked a 4-day holiday in a camping site. So her and Justina and Maddox are just going camping Saturday till Wednesday, and has asked us would we go over to look after the dog. So I've said yes. I mean, and anyway, I'm going to see my daughter. I can't wait any longer. She's going to give her house a complete bottom, and before she comes back, we'll give it a complete bottom and make sure everything's clean and washed, and we'll do everything we can. So yes, I'm going over visiting on Friday. So we'll be away next week from about, I don't know, Friday till probably Thursday. So I just wanted to let you know that I might do a little bit of filming. I might take you with me. I'm not going to do a vlog because obviously Tim will be with me, so it's not the same. But I might do a bit of filming and let you see what goes on. But I mainly wanted to let you know that I am not going to close my Etsy shop. I'm going to leave it open, but it will be probably a week before I get to post out, so it's entirely up to you. I just wanted to let you know. I will put some notes in my Etsy shop to let you know. But apart from that, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to me drone on. I feel like it's been a really long one. Thank you for being patient. Thank you to all my new subscribers. If you're new, thank you very much. And If you're just watching and you've not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I'm always happy to interact with my lovely subscribers, and hopefully I shall see you again very soon. Take care, look after each other and stay safe. See you soon. Bye.